Back out here in the garage, showing different things. Yeah! I noticed all you jokers are lately, you're buying these motards and dual sports and stuff. It's like crazy, especially all these guys buying the WR250s. But I'm going to show you something that will apply to basically any bike with bars. It doesn't matter if it's a sport bike or any, whatever. You know, this is something that has to do with having these high bars that stick out and you whack them into the ground. What happens is people, when they drop their bikes, they go off-roading, they whatever, and the bars hit the ground, and they'll think they've bent their bars. And then you go, oh God, you get on the bike and your bars are a little bit this way, or a little bit this way, and you're like, fuck, I bent something, I tore something up, and more than likely you didn't. It's a really easy fix. I'm going to show you exactly what happened and how you can fix it. The reason that happens is you've got these two triple clamps here, right? Now the bottom one's got the bump stops. You can't really see them, but there's bump stops in there. That means that's what's stopping the steering from going any further than where it's going right now. When you pound your bike into the dirt or where the pavement, whatever you do, this wants to keep on turning up here at the top. This top one doesn't have a bump stop on it, but this is what your bars are connected to, and they have a little bit of leverage. So you can imagine the bottom one's being physically stopped, but the top one is still getting twisted, and it actually will twist, like come around a little bit, and then your bars end up all cracky, and you're like, oh no, what did I do? But you've ended up sort of twisting your forks inside the triples. I'm going to show you how to fix that real quick, and you're going to be amazed how easy this is to do. First of all, we're going to have to lift the bike up in the air, and this will be the most difficult part. You know, it's not a big deal, but we got to get the bike in the air. We got to get the front end off the ground in particular. So now I got the front end in the air, right? Make life easy for you. You want to put something that's going to sit just underneath the front wheel. I found this random little cooler. This will work. It's not like it's going to have to support the whole weight of the bike. You'll see what's going to happen here in a minute. All right, once you got this in this condition here, you're almost done. This is like the hardest part. So other than that, this is pretty simple. We're going to come here and we're just going to start loosening these up. What we're trying to do is once we get all this stuff loose, it should just go back on its own, but if it's a little bit tweaked in there, it usually won't. The thing I like to do is try to actually get these things to spin a little bit. Okay, that's spin one way. I'm going to try to spin it back the other a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit of rotation back and forth. I usually work it out. We're going to do the same thing to the other side. And the reason I put something under the front is because it could just fall out on some bikes. They will. These clamps on this bike, you can have them completely loose. You still got to sort of tap them out. That's similar to, that's common to a lot of bikes, but here's a super pro gangster tip. If you got some of these little rubbery gloves, you can grab the shit out of this fork tube. Yeah. I mean, pretty much that's typically all you got to do is sort of just rotate them back and forth a few times, and it'll pretty much work itself out. Sometimes guys have to undo the clamps on the bars too, because they get sort of tweaked in there. And the last thing you do is, because we've been sort of playing with these, if they did fall or go up and down or you've moved them a bit, just sort of check that we're on the same height. See, looks like this one's slightly higher right now than the other one. This fork may have come down a little bit. There we go. Looks better. And then the other thing to do is come up here and look at like your, like in my case, I got these bleeders. I just got to make sure I've got them in a place I can get to them and I like where they're at. Twist this one a little bit. Yeah. I like where that's sitting right there. I can get to them pretty easy. All right, and then that's pretty much it. You can feel like a badass now. I'll be like, you can go inside and tell your wife you just fixed your bike. Try to get laid or something.
Get brave.